the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Hello, belt enthusiasts. I'm back with another video. This may be my last or one of my last videos about belts, and it's the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, the 2016 edition of the Cruiserweight Championship belt. The WWE does not have the best history on booking cruiserweight divisions. They don't seem to like smaller athletes. But in 2016, they announced a tournament with a bunch of indie wrestlers and their own talent, and it was a big deal, and it was one of the landmark shows for the fledgling WWE network. And this was one of the cornerstone pieces of content that you can watch the Cruiserweight Classic, and that there was a championship at the end of it. This particular belt, I would not say historically has held a lot of nostalgia for me, right? Because again, it came out in 2016, and that's probably after like the peak of my wrestling fandom where I actually like cared about wrestling. But if you have been watching the reviews that I've been doing about the replica belts that I've recently purchased, you know that it has a lot to do with my own personal fitness journey, wellness journey, and 205 started to become a target for me. And I was like, I wonder if I can get down to that weight. And if I did, should I get myself a championship belt? So yeah, that's kind of what happened. Initially, just I guess a little bit of backstory on this one. Initially, I was looking at, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I was looking at a bootleg on eBay from a reputable seller apparently, but the guy ended up folding. He did a version of the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship. That is not to be confused with their Cruiserweight Championship, which was much more popular later on. But the Light Heavyweight Championship, which was 215 pounds limit, there's only like 3 or 4 people that held that belt. It was Brian Pillman, Jushin Thunder Liger, and then like Brad Armstrong, and then it got retired. Then they had the much more popular, much better Cruiserweight division a couple of years later. That's where like Rey Mysterio got super, super popular. And then the WWE, when they bought WCW, they did institute the Cruiserweight Championship. And again, whenever they seem to get their hands on a light heavyweight or Cruiserweight Championship, they botch it. They just are not committed to the division. They don't care about it. And I always thought that it probably would make a lot of sense to have some degree of a weight class or a weight division in wrestling for at least certain titles. Because again, why are you chasing after all of these different belts? A weight class is it's a way to sort of define a division. So like I always thought that they should have like a super heavyweight and then they should have like a super lightweight, but they don't. And whatever, I guess that limits your storytelling. I'm not a booker. I don't need to get into all that. But yeah, this belt. This one was on sale on the Euro-Shop, so I got it in my head that I wanted to buy a Cruiserweight or Light Heavyweight Championship belt. They're hard to come by, honestly. Like the older ones were not really available or they were bootlegs, and I'm definitely not encouraging people to buy bootleg championships. So, and the guy that I was going to buy it from that was apparently reputable, I did order the WCW Light Heavyweight belt, which I thought was a really cool belt, by the way. But he like folded up shop. I got my money back, but like he just disappeared. So I guess that's what happened. So that's another thing. If you're looking to buy a replica championship belt from a third-party source, you got to be careful because they just might disappear. And that's what happened. So I was kind of like, oh, well, they don't really have the WCW Cruiserweight Championship for sale anymore. They don't really have the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship for sale anymore. And again, some of those older ones you could find on bootleg channels, but so anyway, even this one, and if you'll notice the WWE logos on this one, eventually this got folded into the NXT brand. At one point, the Cruiserweight Championship had its own TV show, 205 Live. Then it kind of went away, and then the Cruiserweight Championship got folded into the NXT brand, so the belt changed. The leather got a little bit more purple, and then the WWE logo was replaced with the NXT logo. And then they eventually did away with this belt and this division entirely, and it got folded into the North American Championship on NXT, which I don't particularly like that belt. I don't love the design, but it's a throwback to a classic. When I initially got the belt, I was surprised of how thick it is. Now, I think this is hollow. I don't want to be clear about that. I'm pretty sure that the belt is three-dimensional but hollow. But I was surprised. I actually thought that maybe I bought the wrong belt and I bought like the commemorative belt, because it feels like metal, but it also kind of looks like plastic. It almost looks like this belt wants to light up. Like there's like a resin behind the globe. It's really hard to see, but I'm sure with the close-up you'll see it. But I feel like there should have been lights behind here or something like that, where you could have turned it on and lights could have lit up. And I think that would have been kind of cool. I wasn't particularly impressed by this belt when I saw it on TV. I wasn't impressed by the belt, when it got folded in. But seeing it in person, very similar to the NXT UK Tag Team Championships, it's a little bit more attractive in person, honestly. And like I said, there are these little design elements. Like there's these little translucent purple pieces that they're kind of cool. And I kind of feel like this belt wants to have a light up functionality. I don't know. This one is less about nostalgia and it's more about a personal accomplishment. I bought myself a trophy. I bought myself a prop to commemorate getting under 205 pounds. I'm officially under 205. And again, I don't need to get into it. I'm sure you guys don't care because you just want to see the belt. But I didn't think that I would be able to get under this weight. The lightest I have ever been was like 215. And so I was like, oh, I'll knock it. So it was kind of a nice target, and that's why I wanted the light heavyweight or WCW, because I'm like, I'm a cruiserweight or a lightweight. But but I was able to do it today. Actually, today was the first day I got under, which means I'll probably gain like 3 pounds back and I'll be over again. But whatever. I've had this belt for about a month, and it's been on my wall, on like the non-display wall. I don't know why I just said that. I have like a smaller wall like right there, which I'll show. And I put it up on that one. But the intention was when I hit under 205, the WCW US Championship is going to get switched with this one, because I feel like this one is actually an accomplishment. Like I actually did something. I did something to earn this belt. I got my fat ass under 205. Yeah, if you watch my videos moving forward, you'll see this belt on the wall. And that's why. And that one was sort of for getting my health in order. So it was like, that one is to remind myself that I kind of fixed my health. This one is to remember that I got under 205, at least for a minute. Yay! One other thing that I should note is, and I'll flash this up when I'm showing the close-ups, the quality control in this belt is not great. So in the cruiserweight, in the champion area right here, the O and the N are not painted properly. There's some defects in the paint where they clearly didn't paint it with the silver, or they overpainted it with the black. So don't love that. I did get this on the Euro-Shop. This was not available and in stock on the main US WWE shop at the time. So I did buy it on the Euro-Shop. It wasn't stock there. And I did like that it was the WWE version, not the NXT version of the belt. No shame on NXT. I just think this is a cleaner look. So, but yeah, the quality control, not so good. The discount was good, which I felt better about buying it because it was like on a pretty decent sale. And I pulled the trigger even though I wasn't quite at the weight that I wanted to be at the time, because that was a gamble. I didn't know if I was going to hit it, to be honest with you. But I thought that the sale was really good, and I was worried that it wasn't going to be in stock. And as I mentioned before, there weren't really a lot of options for cruiserweight belts or light heavyweight belts. So I pulled the trigger, and crossed my fingers that I could actually hit the weight. And, a month and some change later, I did it. So yeah, that's why I bought this one. Like I said, it's a much more attractive belt in person than I had thought. It is nice, and I have no shame about putting it up on that wall. But I didn't have a lot of affinity for it. And another thing that I kind of noticed is now that they've the new World Heavyweight Championship belt that the WWE released, and that currently, who is the fellow that has that belt? Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins was the inaugural champion. This one actually has a lot of similar vibes to that belt. In hindsight, kind of looking at the two. The centralized WWE logo, but it's not like enormous. Although again, as I mentioned before, I don't love like the logo smack dab in the middle and it's the first thing that you see. And like to me, it's like, I don't know how you represent like the concept of a cruiserweight or a light heavyweight in a belt, and I don't think any of the light heavyweight belts have ever really conveyed the concept of a light heavyweight championship. There's a new championship that the WWE has. It's like the Speed Championship, and it's like on Facebook. It's kind of like a social media championship. And that one, I'm not saying I like the design at all, but it conveys the idea of speed, which they tried, right? They tried, and it's hard to get creative with these belts and make them look classy. But yeah, this belt, it's better in person. It's not my favorite, but it means something to me because this one, I bought this tied to a personal achievement. So, and also shame on you, WWE, because there's some imperfections here. And, come on. Quality control, baby. Quality control. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for letting me talk about my weight loss and sort of celebrating my weight loss. But, again, as a whole, nice belt, attractive belt. And, yeah, it's a shame that they treated it like trash. And the whole division like trash. So anyway, thanks for watching this one. Have a great day, and I'll be back with another video shortly. I don't know if I'll be back with another belt video, though. This might be the last one. This might be the last belt video, unfortunately. I have my eyes on maybe one more, but I don't know. It's not in stock, so I don't know if I can get my hands on it. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Take care.